money. At the spring concert, they made 9/8 as much money as they made at their fall concert. Now, did they make more money at the spring or at the fall concert? That's what they want to know. So did they make more money at the spring or at the fall concert? Okay. So we have to figure out spring or fall. Okay. Well, before we decide if it's going to be spring or fall, we need to figure out what this actually means. So if you think about 9/8 as a fraction, you realize that this numerator is larger than your denominator. So it must be that there are more than 8 pieces, okay? So it's actually 1 whole. You have 1 left over. So it's like cutting something into you have 8 pieces, you got 1 extra, okay? So 9/8 is like 1 1/8, okay? And if you made 1 1/8 as much money as they made at the fall concert, okay, what did you make more money on, the spring or on the fall? Spring. Okay. All right, number 2. Number 2 says respond to each of the following. Kilometers and inches are some units to measure length. Okay, what are some other units to measure length? Okay, so for length, you could use centimeters, you could use meters, you could use miles, you could use feet, you could use yards. All right, but you would not want to use liters, okay? No, you don't want to use liters because that's going to measure a liquid, okay? You wouldn't want to use gallons because that's going to measure a liquid. You wouldn't want to use a cup, okay, because that's going to be the capacity of something like either flour or sugar, or it could be a liquid, all right? So when you're thinking about length, you want to use these, okay? Look at B. Look at B. Okay, so B says there's tablespoons and liters are some units to measure volume, okay? What are some other units to measure volume? Well, for volume, you could have cups and liters, right? You use all these in cooking and baking, and gallons, okay, and ounces. All those are used to measure volume, which is like the capacity of something, like to fill it up. Okay, you would not want to use centimeters or yards or feet because that's for measurement. Okay, that's for measurement. All right, that's Monday. Let's take a look at Tuesday. All right, here's Tuesday. About how much does a textbook weigh? So if you're going to estimate how much a textbook weighs, you could say anywhere from 3 to, let's say, 8 pounds. I think that's a fair estimate. Anything below that, 3 pounds, and anything really above that 8 pounds is kind of hard to believe, a little unrealistic, okay? All right, what about the next one? How much does a car weigh? Well, depending on if you're looking at a smart car, if you're looking at like a larger SUV, you could go anywhere from 2,000 pounds to maybe a half ton, okay? Anywhere around that. You wouldn't want to get into like 3 tons because that would be like a big truck, right? And you don't want to get to like 500 to 800 pounds. That'd be more like a motorcycle, okay? How much does a mosquito weigh? Well, a mosquito would not weigh a pound. A mosquito would weigh maybe something in grams, okay? Not pounds. That's too big, okay? All right, how long is a textbook? Well, it could be 15 inches. That's a fair estimate, or anything around there. It would not be 3 inches. That's way too small. and it would not be 3 yards. That's way too big. Okay, so something around 15 inches or maybe 25 centimeters. Okay. All right, how long is a car? Well, a car could be about 15 to 20 feet or maybe 5 meters. Okay. It wouldn't be 5 feet. That'd be way too short. That would be like the length of a table. So somewhere around there. How long is a mosquito? Well, a mosquito could be 1 centimeter or maybe half an inch. Any of those are fine. Okay. All right, look at 4. 4 says divide. Okay. So when you have 5 divided by 4, it looks like 5 divided by 4. Okay. And this one, 4 divided by 5, would be 4 divided by 5. That's how you write those. All right. Now, if you needed to solve for these, you want to think about how many times 4 goes into 5. 1 time. 1 times 4 is 4. If you subtract 5 minus 4, you get 1. But you can't have remainders. You have to add a 0.0. Bring your decimal up. And then 4 goes into 10. 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. You still can't have remainder. Shoot. It's okay. Just add another 0. 4 goes into 20. 5 times. Your answer is 1.25. Okay, so how many times does 5 go into 4? Well, none. But what you can do is you can add a 0.0. Bring your decimal up. It's like the elevator. Your decimal is like your elevator. It just goes right up. 5 goes into 40 8 times. And 8 times 5 is 40, so that works out. Okay? All right, you don't have to worry about that one. All right, look at the next one. 1/2 times 15. Now remember, if you have to multiply this, every whole number stands on some 1, and you just multiply the numerator times numerator, which is 15, denominator times denominator, which is 2, and 15 over 2 is a perfect little answer, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to simplify it or make it into a mixed number, you want to think, how many times does 2 go into 15? Or 15 divided by 2, okay? 15 divided by 2 is 7, because 2 times 7 is 14, and there's 1 left over, so that's your remainder. You use your denominator, okay? And that's how you clean that up or make it into a mixed number, okay? All right, take a look at letter B. Letter B says 3/4 times 200 over 1, okay? You can times your numerator. 3 times 200 equals 600, okay? 4 times 1 is 4. And that answer is fine. Okay, that answer is fine. But if you want to simplify it because you know your numerator is bigger than your denominator, you can. You want to look at your number, 600 divided by 4. So 600 divided by 4. 4 goes into 6 once. 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract. 6 minus 4 is 2. 4 goes into 20. 5 times 4 is 20. But bring down your next 0. How many times does 4 go into 0? Okay. So 150 is your answer. Or 600 divided by 4 equal sections will give you 150 in each section. Okay. All right. Good job. All right. All right. So that's Monday and Tuesday. So I'm going to go ahead and stop.